No, strong with a good yawn.
Let's just start with the good John. Anyway, we can edit the video and the sound on that part.
No, you
So-
don't want to. You don't want to keep my yawn in.
I am. I'm just gonna cut it in into it. Hey, welcome to another episode of the EOD podcast. My name is BJ, and I
And-
am here with my friend Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
Finally back from across the other side of the world.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if it was the other side of the world, but it was the other side of the Atlantic, and
I mean, that's pretty. I think that's the other side. Well, halfway.
that's halfway there.
Yeah, because you were in where?
I was in Switzerland.
Oh,
I was gorging on chocolate and red meat and climbing mountains.
every time you say Switzerland, I think about Haiti, the girl of the mountains. Did you ever watch that cartoon?
I don't think so.
It was a cartoon from, like when I was little. It's
Mhm.
Haiti, the girl from the mountains, and she will be like a farmer girl from Switzerland,
Mm-hmm.
and had like a really old grandpa that, you know, he got older as he took care of her, and they would dress like those red long skirts, the little thing on the head, and they would do fondue and eat with bread. I'm gonna show you a clip before you go so you can laugh a little bit.
Okay.
That's what I say. Hey, are you gonna push Charles around?
Yeah, honestly, I might actually know some of that show because I've seen enough YouTube stuff about people talking about old like cartoons and stuff that I might have seen a clip of it.
It is a great show. I gotta say, it's a great show. I love it. I mean, when I was little, I mean, everybody, all the kids I know used to be like, I'm 40. Like
Mhm.
we established this,
Mhm.
but everybody like Goku and Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm like the Thundercats and He-Man and the Galactic Eagles. You ever watch any of those cartoons?
I've seen some Thundercats and some He-Man. Thundercats had a revival when I was like in 5th or 6th grade, and I watched that. And then with He-Man, I've seen some He-Man, and there's like He-Man has become like he's got some meme culture around him.
That is one of the best shows you can ever watch. I mean, like honestly, He-Man is probably one of the best dudes in the world. Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you're back. And when you left, I posted a little bit of who you were and
Mm-hmm.
what kind of wine we'd like. Excuse me. The weather is a lot of pollen in here and smoke, and the staff, all the people recording us, all our staff is smoking all kinds of drugs.
Yeah, I walked in and Jimmy was he was just lost in the sauce, and I just like sometimes I think about like I really got this guy hired here, and like all he does is just like get fucked up on the job, like
Well, given that note, we were talking last time we were here about music and trying to speak a little bit about music and all kinds of shit. This
Mhm.
podcast is about music. Uh, I was listening to your CD the other day, your songs, Fishing on September. You guys gotta check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like a couple of those songs, but I have a question.
Yeah.
This song says "Take my body."
Mhm.
How does that go?
It's like take my soul, I'm in this body.
Yeah, that song is called.
Or Origanami XD. It's like the state of Oregon and then origami, and then I put
That
them to get together.
That's one of the best songs I've heard in a while. I gotta say it though. I gotta say that song is pretty good.
Oh, for real?
Yes. Oh, see, it's doing crazy stuff again.
There's a okay. Something popped up over there, so I was worried. But
It's part of the. That's part of the technology when you touch something, especially on iPhones. I gotta say on Macs.
so it's like all interconnected and stuff.
Well, phones are, and if you, I guess that's one of the things people should do when we have their iPhone and all that. They should turn off their Bluetooth, because that's how the connection of the iPhones come, and they go hand to hand now. Like they do all this crazy stuff. They auto connect. They text your wife on their own and say, "Hey, I'm over here." It's crazy shit. But anyways, that song. What inspired you for that song, dude?
it was like, I don't know, it was like a feeling of like being like disembodied. I had like I mean, I put the guitar in open A, and I kind of just played something. You know, I just played that rhythm guitar part.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like from there, it kind of just like put itself together. I didn't really like think much. I kind of just did it.
But I think I listened to two versions of it, right? Is there two versions?
Yeah,
Two different ones?
Yeah, there's like the original one, which is one that's on the album, and then on the single, one of the B-sides was one where I took out everything except for the synthesizers and let that there, and that was just because I really liked what Ben did with the synths, and I wanted something that could just show that it was like
Good old band,
Oh, there.
good old band. Just keep rocking that out. I like it.
thank
I
you.
personally do. I think without having drums in it, because a lot of it don't have drums, right? So
Mhm.
it's pretty entertaining, and you know, it keeps you to like. I like the guitars, the sounds, the effects, the fact that I don't know you did it on purpose or not, but it sounded like some of the amps were far away from the microphone, so you get that old school recording feeling.
Mhm.
Back in the day when, you know, if you listen to a lot of the old school recordings like Led Zeppelin or stuff, you can hear the amp is there, but it's not processed to like 1,000, you know, preamps and modules and all this shit. So you feel the sound of the guitar and the amp, kind of like old school sound. I feel like that's the recorded and the type of music I like. The
Yeah.
ingenuity of, you know, recording like that.
Yeah, I'm. Thank you for like listening to and picking up on that. I mean, like that's what I like too. Like I don't really like stuff that's really processed. A lot of my favorite records are like pretty raw recordings of bands just kind of playing. So that's just what I wanted to do, and also I don't have the most technical knowledge when it comes to like miking guitars, especially if I use like distortion. So most of the time I end up sticking pretty clean and just trying to get a good amp sound. I mean, that's why I have my amp. I want to hear my amp, you know?
Right, yeah. I think that's one of the things that musicians or guitarists should aim. Just like drums, you know, like me as a drummer, when I listen to the recordings that we do and I feel that they're so worked on,
Mm-hmm.
like you can feel that, you know, it's being quantized, is it right?
Yeah, quantized.
Quantized, and it's being, you know, put up a bunch of EQs, and I'm like, oh, well, that's that's my drumming, but that's not really the sound that comes out of my kick.
Yeah.
You know, like I know what my kick sounds like.
Yeah.
I know how to tune. I mean, I tune my fucking shit pretty nicely when I what I think that I like.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's one of the issues with music now. Everybody wants to be so polished and so fucking good, and like, what happened to those recordings back in the day where like, you know, the Doors? You ever heard the Doors?
Yeah.
You can hear the fucking mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you pay attention, you can hear the
Yeah.
like, oh, that dude fucked up.
Yeah, but like that's what makes it fun. That's what I like about that stuff. Like my one of my favorite records, or just one of my favorite discographies, I guess. I mean, it's the it's Distressor by Whir, which is like a shoegaze record. And
Right.
they've got like there's 3 guitars, keyboard, bass, and drums. So it's a lot going on. But like you are really able to hear when people mess up. But it's like that's the whole thing that makes that record engaging, is that you don't feel like you're listening to a record, you feel like you're listening to the band, which is what I like to hear when I listen to music. I like to hear, what does the band sound like? What does the artist sound like?
Well, not only that, personally, I think that when you making or listening to a record, you would think, what were they thinking? You know, like what was the process that they used to record? Because, you know, aside that people put all these labels to songs like, oh, that's a, you know, devil worshiper, or for example, you ever heard that song by Alice in Chains, dun, 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 Man in the Box?
Man in the Box, yeah.
One of the greatest songs ever made, right?
Mhm.
Everybody thinks that, you know, Man in the Box is about animal cruelty. That's what people think.
Mhm.
personally, I was watching a video and somebody mentioned that about something greater than that they were talking about some power, that Jesus Christ was defying you deny your maker, like so it's a complex shit because I watched some complex crazy shit.
Hmm.
And we talk about it later, but inside I was listening to it. I'm like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, that's a very unique and simple bit. Dun, 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 pat, dun.
Hmm.
Catchy as hell. And when he sings, like you can hear he's manipulating the voice to make those words longer.
Hmm.
And you be like, what the fuck? Like, what? People, oh my God, they were worshippers. But maybe they was just like, hey, you know what? I don't know how to make that song sound right. I'm just gonna make these, and it sounded fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what's cool is like he like really understood like it's like that like contorting your voice
Right.
is like such a big part of like what makes your singing unique.
Right.
And like not because nobody's really gonna sing the same as another person. So it's like I hear him and I hear the way that he sings and I know that it's him.
Yeah, correct.
And and it's because he has that way of like manipulating his voice and like changing the way that syllables sound to fit what he wants the word to feel like. It's a cool thing.
It's a great song. Oh, too bad my buddy, my friend, is already gone. Sad all the good ones go early. Well, I can't blame them. You have money, you got drugs. You don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna shoot myself. That's what I was when I was listening to. I was at work listening to your album, and I was like, it's pretty creative. We say we're gonna talk about music. Of course, I'm gonna start with ours because we know we're selfish motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
We got so much music to talk about.
I love being selfish. Yeah,
Oh,
I love it.
it's like for me, one of the songs that I have issue connecting to in one of our albums. It's not that I have problems connecting to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I feel like it's not what I love the songs and we can because I am a true believer that bands should collectively work for music, whether it's to represent the singer, like in this case Aqua. To me, it's like a song that I don't have to play so much into it because it's Chris's leading the songs. The part that his vocals take more dynamics into the song than just my beat backing him up.
Mm-hmm.
Same with his song Drifting. It's just me right there, just keeping that. If you ask me, sorry, not Drifting. Yeah, Drifting. Because Teal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know my own fucking song. Teal is one of my favorite songs as far as drum lines. I feel like we wrote that when a point as that we were more mature musically. Because every band, if you can tell me that you as a band write hits, no, it's not true. Not all your songs are great. I mean, I would be lying. I say it's a well structured song, but it's not a great song. Sometimes you as a musician, you're like, that's good enough. It's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because even real artists do that shit. Like they say, oh, is this good? Is this bad? It's good enough. So like, I just think that some of the songs that we write as musicians is always just to you in this case in your album is you and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like much, not a lot of. Pardon this stupidity is happening with my setup right here. It's just it keeps going on and off, and I'm like, it's gonna have to be in this moments me on this video telling this fucking phone to fucking work. But you differently because you two guys, don't have. When you were with us, you saw how difficult it is to write.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it is, because complex motherfuckers wanna sound like and I get it. All bands. First of all, what do you make music for? Why do you write music?
I mean, I guess it's like I just want a way to like express my feelings. So there's like I mean, like I obviously I got into it because I mean I think music is fun and it's creative and you can make different sounds and stuff, and that part's like a little puzzle. But like
Right.
the reason that I keep doing it is that I just like it's a good way for me. It's the only way I really know to like let a really complicated feeling out, because I can like hear it in my head, and so if I can just put that out somehow, then I mean that's how I do it. I mean, like, it's a really like emotional
Right.
thing for
So
me.
yeah, same with me. I have that feeling. I play music in order to get my frustrations out,
Hmm.
express myself, and like we said, to make music to help somebody. If the lyrics, like for example, the lyrics for one of the songs that we're releasing, it's called Zombie on November 1st.
Hmm.
Those are completely written about me getting old, feeling that my body is giving up because I fucking party like a maniac when I was younger. I did all kinds of drugs, and
Hmm.
kids don't do drugs, unless you can afford it.
Drugs are bad,
Leave it all for me. No,
except
but
when they're fun.
unless it's a recreational use, yeah, go ahead. But no, but in all honesty, like like I was like, oh my god, my body, my anxiety, am I having a heart attack? So we came up with those lyrics, and the songs came out, perfectly. You bold. And then again, another step forward. I feel like from Teal to the songs, Aqua and all that, it kept moving forward. When we were started, we were making songs that were, according to the moment. We remember all the songs we used to play. Remember there was a few songs that we played that we don't play no more. We should bring them over. But back to the subject. I do like the way you did the album, just because I feel like you took your time to represent and show what you wanted to do, and you were not afraid to actually do and put on audio what you wanted to fucking express.
Hmm.
Same with the lyrics and stuff like that. So a lot of the songs are pretty. I like the hot dog. What's it called?
Or the corn dog song.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a good one. It's a pretty good song.
I'm glad you like it. That was a fun one.
How do you? Where do you record all that?
I have like a front room in my house, and that's where I keep all my gear in, and so, I mean, my setup is pretty small. Like I have like a Universal Audio Volt. It's like the 2 input Volt. I'm trying to get the 4 input, but I gotta pay off my credit card before I do that.
Well,
And,
you did have your credit card maxed out in Europe, sir.
it's not maxed out. I wasn't Euro maxing. But like I kind of just like, I don't know. I mean, I just have all my gear up on there. That's where I record it. Ben has his own setup at his house, and so he'll do most of his stuff at his place. He's done some at my house, but we have like different schedules because of work and school and stuff. So
Right.
So it usually ends up being easier for us to just work on our own.
So you guys send each other like, oh my god, people is just not in the mood of recording today. They just keep calling me. They just keep doing all kinds of shit. So you guys do email or like send each other forward a bunch of stuff, or what do you guys do?
Yeah, I mean we send each other tracks like I like you for the album, a lot of that started with kind of stuff that I was doing. So I would basically just like send the track to him, whatever I had at that moment, and then he would send stuff back to me, and it's kind of like a back and forth of like testing out different things that we wanted to put in, things that we take out, and that just repeats a few times, and then we worked on the mixing together and figured out like where do we want stuff in the mix. It was pretty collaborative, but just because of how we did it, it took a pretty long time.
Yeah, how long it took to get that going?
The first album was a year.
Yeah, that's quite a time. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember you. I guess you share some of those songs. You share one of the songs with me, and I was gonna put drums in it.
Mhm.
But like I didn't really. When I listened to it, I was like, this is too good to fuck it up with my shit.
Oh.
I didn't want to. I mean, I didn't want to fuck it up just because I personally think that what the product that you put out, it's truly who you are. It's Fishing in September.
Mhm.
I do give that, your voice is a little bit of it reminds me a little bit of The Cure kind of
Mhm.
tones into it. So it's just good. I
Oh,
I am a true believer. I like this band. I don't know if you ever heard of it before. It's called Little Hurricane.
Little Hurricane.
Yeah.
I haven't. I
It's
haven't
a
heard of
it's
them.
a duet.
Mhm.
It's a guy and a girl. The guy is a guitar player, and also I guess he's a producer and the bass player because she has like a looper with plays bass,
Mhm.
and she's the drummer. Funny story. If you ever listen to them, I think they're pretty good. I personally think. I don't know if we can play music in the podcast and get fucking banned or whatever.
I have
But
no idea.
I need to look into that because I like to play some tracks as we do this shit.
Yeah.
But this guy, I like them because they play some sort of different style. He was not afraid to do old school guitar playing, and she's basically just doing regular beats. Nothing, uh, what's it called fucking Travis Baker or Danny Carey from Tool. Or it
Mhm.
was just simple as tum pat, and this guy would do. The boys were very dynamic, so they carried the song. No bass player, nothing, just them two. And the funny story is that the guy says that they're from California, so he posted in the San Francisco Bay Area. So he posted an ad saying, "Hey, looking for a drummer, blah 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 blah, the California area." And she replied, and they literally lived in the same fucking street.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they didn't know. They end up marrying now and having kids.
That's crazy.
But you ever get a chance listen to? But what I'm saying is like, they were not afraid to try something different. And they did tour for a while.
Mhm.
Right, they were touring right when the music had a good. I would say it was okay to just be two people band and same. I've never heard Shaky Grapes.
I've heard Shaky Grapes.
Shaky Grapes is the same thing, playing Americana, but like with a touch of I listen. I heard of Shaky Grapes on Audio Tree Live,
Mhm.
which when I saw him, I was like, I was a lot for a long time. That's what really caught my attention. I was tired of the bands playing with the bass players. I was so done with the 2000 Linkin Park, Mudvayne, Deftones. I mean, they were putting out shit like garbage.
Mhm.
Am I lying?
No, I mean, like by the time I got to the end of the 2000s, those bands were looking kind of rough.
I mean, I don't think they were. I mean, I truly lived the 2000s, the 90s, and when it all started that wave. I mean, it was great. It was Sustained, Limp Bizkit,
Mhm.
even though they fucking suck at that. I think they're much better now than what they were there before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wes Borland was a fucking maniac. He's always got great guitar lines. I mean, Korn, of course, like, are you ready? I saw it like 1,000 times. So those bands at that moment, they were making a different style of music. Coming from the grudge, the Pearl Jam era, the Smashing Pumpkins. You're a Smashing Pumpkin lover. I know you
Yeah,
are.
I know.
I know you are.
I don't even try to hide it.
Yeah. I think those guys made a difference. Like, except, what's the name of this fucking band? I always hated it. I will hate it to the end of the world. I'm sorry. Yes, there's haters, and I am one of them. They used to call this band, Come, my lady, you my butterfly.
Oh shit, Crazy Town.
Oh, I hated him
Oh,
so fucking much.
Crazy Town's fucking garbage.
Oh my god. Come, my lady, come, my lady. You're my butterfly.
Sugar,
Sugar
baby.
What the fuck? Another band I hate, Sugar Ray. Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, far. So I went somewhere and they were playing that song and I was like, can somebody fucking turn that shit off?
That's like Sugar Ray. It's like they made one song that got a hit, and then every song after it sounded exactly like it. I mean, it's like
Yeah, it's a one hit song, one hit band.
yeah, it's a one hit band that has I guess a few more hits than just the one hit, but it might as well just be one hit.
I was doing scrolling the other day and I saw that oh shit, what's it called, that band that plays
Is that Disturbed?
You
Yeah.
should get ready to get disturbed. Was discordify or I forgot the word they use for their kind of like their followers or whatever. And I was like, these motherfuckers still touring? That they're like, they were all there when I was like in my 20s. I mean, I'm assuming they're in their 60s. I saw a video of Stain playing, and I mean, Aaron Lewis is a fucking redneck,
Mm-hmm.
supports Trump all the way. I'm like, motherfucker. when I just don't get it. Like I mean, but then I say, like I was telling you, I think at the end of the 2000s they were just playing fucking what, like they would just go in the studio and probably just play whatever the fuck they could because they were done with it. I mean, you get overwhelmed, tired, fucking sick of it, and they was just like, we just want to make money and not be poor. So they would just put out shit, whatever shit, and then the radio died. Like I remember when I was younger, it'll be no fucking Spotify. Pandora was like the thing that started it, but before you used to just listen to 106.5 The End
Hmm.
or maybe XM Sirius.
Yeah.
It was what you could, if you had the means to pay and have an MP3 and download. I mean, that could connect to that shit, the satellite radio. Then you'll be set. But all that, you bring your own fucking MP3 saver, save all your lists, bring it on your radio and listen to it. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah, like we used to have like the iPad Nanos when I was a kid. And
Well, then that came out. You had
Yeah.
the Nanos. I had the real iPod.
like